Hello and welcome back again to another video tutorial of Royce Academy. In this video tutorial I am going to discuss that how the cellular communication is happening in case of the peptide hormones, or the water soluble hormones. In another video I have discussed about how the lipid soluble hormones or the steroid hormones were playing its role, and in this video I will focus mainly on the deal of the protein hormones or the peptide hormones, water soluble hormones are playing its role. As common examples of the peptide hormones that are present in our body are like that of the insulin, glucagon, somatotropin, somatostatin. Then these are some kind of the protein hormones which are present within our body. The somatotropin, prolactin is there, the prolactin, somatostatin, somatotropin, insulin, glucagon, all these kind of hormones are the peptide hormones or protein hormones basically. Now, how does this hormone play its role in the cellular communication or the cell signaling? Unlike the pathway of the lipid soluble hormones or the steroid hormones, this pathway is little more complex or little more different. So let's see how the thing is happening, how the process is happening. Let us name it as the peptide or water soluble hormone cell signaling. Okay. Now, in this case, what happens is the peptide water soluble hormone cell signaling. Let me draw a cell first, a rough diagram of a cell. This is a phospholipid bilayer membrane. Okay. This is the phospholipid bilayer membrane. Now, this phospholipid bilayer membrane is acting as the barrier for any kind of molecule to travel inward and outward of the membrane. So this membrane is actually a type of selective maintain selective permeability. Okay, it sometimes helps in the facilitated diffusion, or sometimes it helps in the active diffusion. Okay, sometimes in most of the cases, the phospholipid bilayer membrane of the cell, in the case of the eukaryotic cells, particularly in the human body or the animal body, it is actually it helps in it helps in the selective permeability or active transport, I must say. In most of the cases, okay, it does not allow any unwanted heavier molecule to enter. It helps in the active transport, which needs energy, and in some cases it needs selective permeability. So what are in some case of molecules like the larger proteins, lipids, ion channels and all, lipopolysaccharides or lipopolysaccharides, antigens and all, it does not enter. It needs to be broken down. And in case of the active transport of ions or amino acids or glucose and all, it helps requires the help of the energy. Okay. We know that now in this peptide or water soluble hormone cell signaling, what happens is the peptide hormone, when let me draw a receptor of the peptide hormone first. Let this be a receptor of the peptide hormone. The receptor is having the NH2 domain. This part is actually the NH2 domain or amine domain. Okay, NH2 or amine domain. Let us write as let it be the NH2 only. Okay, or amino domain. and the portion that is present within the across the membrane or the cytoplasmic transmembrane portion, here lies the COH or the constant region domain. Okay. Now in this case what happens? The protein soluble hormones, water soluble hormones or the protein hormones, which suppose this might be a protein hormone. Okay. This is a protein hormone which came and bind with the which came and bound with came and formed a complex with the receptor. Okay, this is the peptide hormone. Like I said, peptide hormones are like that of the insulin, glucagon, somatostatin, somatotropin, prolactin are the peptide hormones, and this is the receptor. This part is the receptor of the peptide hormone. Now this receptor, after receiving the peptide hormone signal, the receptor's amino part or amine part is present outside, and the COH part is present inside. Now in this case what happens, as I've said, that the NH2 part or the amine part is present outside, amino part, and the COH is present inside. Let's say this is after binding of the peptide hormone, this receptor is getting activated. In that case what happens? Suppose this receptor is getting activated and this COH part is becoming CO minus. Okay, the COH part is becoming the CO minus part, and in this case the NH2 is remaining as it is, because this part has lost a proton. So this is an acidic conformation of this entire receptor protein domain. Okay, or in some other case, let this NH2 amino part becomes NH3 positive and the COH remains as it is. This part is called this form is called the basic form. So this is nothing but the basic Zwitterion form of the amino acid, because the receptor is nothing but another combination of different amino acids, okay, which is forming the polypeptide bonds and all. The hormone is itself a peptide and the receptor is also a peptide, obviously, because otherwise if the polarity between the amino acids are not maintained, then the binding would not be possible, the receptor hormone complex formation would not be possible, and the cellular transduction pathway would not be possible. So there need to be a polarity, and moreover this protein trilaminar structure of the fluid mosaic model of this plasma membrane, which is having a within the lamellar layer there is protein present within this layer, then lipid is present, then again protein is present. It is trilaminar structure and of the fluid mosaic model, and this membrane is phospholipid bilayer membrane. Okay, now in most of the cases when through this membrane active transport occurs, that is at the expense of the energy, the molecule is going against the energy gradient or the concentration gradient from a lower to a higher form. Okay, with the help of an energy dependent molecule. Okay, that is called the active transport. In most of the cases it happens, and in very few cases selective permeability is being exhibited by the membrane. Now in case of the passive transport, what happens is the reverse thing happens of the active transport. The molecule goes from the higher energy gradient to the lower one. So why I am mentioning you all this types of transportation is because this peptide hormone molecule cannot, unlike the steroid hormone molecule, which was getting actively diffused within the intracytoplasmic space, this peptide hormone cannot do like that. This peptide hormone has to activate this receptor protein because it is selective. The membrane is showing selective permeability, and in that case the peptide hormone needs to select its specific receptor. When its specific receptor would get activated, then in that case what happens, the receptor would trigger the activation of subsequent molecules. Okay, now this receptor here, this receptor gets activated. Okay, this receptor molecule now has got activated. Now this activated receptor molecule, what will it do? It will help in activation of another protein molecule called the G protein molecule. Okay, this G protein molecule is present here. Suppose this G protein gets activated, it's turning as G plus. Okay, now this activated G protein molecule, what will it do? It will activate certain effector molecules. This G protein would help in activating certain effector molecules. These effector molecules are nothing but enzymes. A common example of this enzyme is adenylyl cyclase or phospholipase. Okay, these are some of the enzymes. Now, this enzyme, when it gets activated, suppose this enzyme is also getting activated, okay, with the help of this particular activation. With the help of this particular activation, this is also getting activated. Now, this activated enzyme molecule would help in triggering another another substrate molecule, that is, it will help in converting ATP molecule to cyclic AMP or CAMP molecule. And now this CAMP molecule, which is activated, okay, ATP to CAMP plus PI or inorganic phosphate. Now this CAMP molecule which is getting activated, this CAMP molecule will function in two different routes to trigger the cellular response. Let me draw the nucleus here. Okay. This is somewhat a nucleus present. Okay. And within the nucleus lies the genetic material or the DNA. Okay. This is what it is present. 5 prime to 3 prime and 3 prime to 5 prime. Now, let me explain each of these routes separately. So, the selective permeability of this peptide hormones activate its specific receptor. The receptor getting activated would help in activating the G protein. The G protein would trigger the activation of the effector molecule. Effector molecule is nothing but enzyme. That enzyme will activate the second messenger, that is CAMP, secondary messenger molecule. This CAMP molecule will function in two different ways. So let me segregate the path of two different paths. In the first pathway, the CAMP molecule, what will it do? It will activate the inactive. It will help in activating the inactive protein kinase to the active protein kinase. Okay. It will help in activating the inactive protein kinase to its active form. This activated protein kinase would help in converting the enzyme kinase, inactive enzyme kinase, to its active enzyme kinase form. Okay. Now this activated enzyme kinase form, what will it do? This activated enzyme kinase will help in triggering, this activated enzyme kinase would help in trigger the transcription factor of the genome. Okay, let me lift up the 5' to 3' part again in this case. Okay, this is the 5' to 3' of the coding strand. Now this activated enzyme kinase molecule will help in triggering the or activating the transcription factor. Transcription factor. Okay. Now this transcription factor which is activated helps in activating what? Helps in activating the promoter region or the initiating the process of the mRNA formation. Now when the mRNA is being formed from this transcription factor, okay, it has the coding of 5' to 3', that is 5' to 3' it has the coding. Now this 5' to 3' coding of the 5' to 3' mRNA will directly come out into the cytosol or the cytoplasm. This is the mRNA which will help in the formation of the proteins, the different protein molecules. Okay, these are nothing but the protein molecules. These by the process of translation, these proteins will be formed by the process of translation. These proteins will help in the formation of cellular response. Now this is one route, one pathway how the CAMP is functioning. It would activate subsequent protein kinases, and then it would activate phosphorylase kinase, and then would finally activate the enzyme kinase and function in activating the transcription factor and form the mRNA, from mRNA to protein, and then the cellular response. There is another route also, another important route. The CAMP molecule will directly, the activated CAMP molecule will directly come inside the nucleus. Okay, inside the nucleus, the CAMP molecule will activate this CAMP. Activated CAMP molecule will activate another molecule which is known as the CAMP response element binding, CREB, and this particular molecule is also getting activated due to the presence of activated CAMP molecule. Due to the presence of activated CAMP, it is activating this CREB complex. Okay, CREB, CAMP response binding element. Now this CAMP response binding element, what will it do? The activated CREB complex would directly trigger the transcription factor. Okay, and when it will trigger the transcription factor, same way this transcription factor will form the mRNA. The mRNA will come out of the nucleus into the cytosol. It will form the protein by translation, and the protein will do the cellular response. So this is what the second route of the CAMP is taking place. Let me write the routes here for convenience. This one is the route 2 and this one is route 1. Okay, so this is what all about it is. So let me go through all of it again. First we have the peptide hormones, which shows the selective permeability to the plasma membrane. This peptide hormone helps in binding with the receptor, it's binding with its specific receptors and converts the specific receptor molecule, which is another protein molecule, either in its basic form or either in its acidic form. So whatever form it might be, it gets activated. The receptor molecule will activate the G protein, the guanine nucleotide protein. The guanine nucleotide protein gets activated and it triggers the activation of the effector molecule or effector component. The effector component is nothing but the enzymes present within the phospholipid bilayer. This activated enzyme would help in converting ATP to CAMP, okay, or this activated enzyme would help in breakdown of a certain substrate molecule to 2 different or 3 different substrates, and those different substrate molecules, what will they do? Those substrate molecules will bring about the post-transduction process, like what is happening here. Now in this case, it would activate the CAMP. In general cases, these peptide soluble hormones, water soluble hormones, peptide hormones function in this way. Now the activated CAMP molecule will convert the inactivate protein kinase to the activated protein kinase. The activated protein kinase would convert the inactive enzyme kinase to the active enzyme kinase. The activated enzyme kinase would enter through the nuclear pore into the nucleus and activate the transcription factor for producing that particular enzyme or particular protein. These might be the proteins or enzymes also. Which brings about the cellular response, the subsequent further process. This is the route 1. In a route 2, the CAMP activated CAMP molecule will directly enter into the nucleus and it will activate the CAMP response element binding, CREB molecule. This CREB molecule, after when it gets activated, as soon as it getting activated, it will help triggering the activation of transcription factor and the promoter region, which help in formation of the mRNA. This mRNA will come out of the nucleus into the cytosol and form the protein and enzymes, which would thereby bring about the subsequent cellular response. Okay, that bring about that successive subjected response. This is how all about the hormone signaling of the peptide hormones or the water soluble hormones happen. So hope you like this video. Then please share the channel, share the video as much as possible and subscribe my channel and hit the thumbs up button and also comment down in the comment section below if there is any other furthermore doubts or queries. Thank you.